Hi again guys, I'm back here with my EART W2 Headless guitar, which I got about a week ago, and I'm still absolutely loving it. And I thought I'd quickly go over the accessories it comes with and what you can use them for, just in case if it helps anyone out there. So the first one we'll look at is this long bar, and you use this one for adjusting your truss rod. So the truss rod adjuster is just under the neck, so you just put it into the hole, and then if you want to tighten your neck or tighten the truss rod, move to the right. If you want to loosen it, you go to the left. So when I got the guitar, I normally try to go for a relatively straight neck with a little bit of relief. So I needed to tighten the truss rod a little bit on this guitar. So what they normally recommend is a quarter turn. So if you imagine a clock face, you're aiming for like a 15-minute chunk. So I had to tighten mine, so I put it in there and did about a quarter turn to the right and let it settle. Obviously, if you want it to have a bit more relief, you would then be doing that to the left. So that's what that is for. So then you get 3 different sized Allen keys as well. So the thinnest one is the one that's actually used to help adjust the saddle height. So in this particular neck, you've got 2 different notches with each saddle. So the notch on the left actually loosens that particular saddle, and you have to do that before you move it. And the notch on the right then allows you to move it up or down. So what you do, you put that in there, you loosen it first, and then you go into the second, and that will adjust your saddle. So these are the golden saddles that will either go up or down. What I found on my neck, and I believe on my guitar, should I say, and I believe other people have found it as well, is that some of them will only go up, but sometimes struggle to actually move downwards. So obviously that's an issue if you want to lower your action. What EART recommend, and I think some other users have said as well, is that the little wrench here that is normally used for tuning, which is stored on your guitar, once you've loosened the saddle on the left hand side, you're able to then use this to push down on the golden section, and it'll actually help to move it down. Once it's down, then you should be able to go back to the right hand side and be able to then move it up or down. So it might be that it's just something that, with it being new, some of the parts in there are a bit stiff. So therefore over time it might be that you don't need to use the wrench to make some of these go down, because in theory the way it should work is that you just loosen it on the left hand side, and then you move to the right, and then you should be able to move it up or down with simply using the Allen key. So you might find that yours are a little bit stiff, or they might be absolutely fine. So for me it wasn't across the board, it was only a couple of them that I needed to use the wrench to do that. Then you have the medium Allen key, and this is to go in these notches here. So if you need to tighten or loosen any of that bit of the bridge, I don't need to. And then you have the thickest Allen key, and this fits into the notches under here if you need to tighten or loosen any of those. And finally, you have the magnetic wrench, which lives on the side of your guitar in a really clever way, and you just use this for tuning. So the way you do this, you just put it into there, pluck your string, check the tuning, and move it either up or down and get it in tune. Really, really easy. As I mentioned in my first video, you are able to move most of these with your finger. They can be a little bit stiff. Mostly for my guitar was these top three, so these are a bit easier. But it could be that again over time you may be able to move it a bit better. Obviously they all have screws there also, so it could be that you may be able to loosen some of those a little bit, so then you're able to move it much easier with your finger. But what I would definitely say is that it stays in tune incredibly well. I haven't noticed it losing tuning hardly at all, even on the G string, which is normally obviously a troublesome string with some of my other guitars. It feels as if it might be a wound G string actually. So if that's the case, obviously that would help. But the tuning overall, for all the strings, I've been really impressed with it. So highly, highly recommend just spending some time getting the tuning right, and after that it should pretty much stay in place. So one other thing worth mentioning, which helped me a lot in getting my action just right, was actually using a card of some sort and putting it underneath the strings on the 12th and 13th fret. Then what you want to do is put a capo on the first fret. Okay, so capo on the first fret, credit card or card of your choice on the 12th and 13th. And then you want to put a bit of sellotape on this side and a bit of sellotape on that side, making sure that the card is actually following the radius of the guitar. And you stick the tape underneath the neck and both sides. So you end up with the card slightly curved with the curvature of the neck and a capo on the first fret. And then what you do is just pluck the strings gently, one by one. I saw this in another video, but it worked a treat for this guitar, so I thought I might as well mention it now. Just pluck the strings one by one, quite gently, and adjust the height, as I mentioned earlier, with the smallest Allen key by loosening the left side and adjusting height on the right. Do that for each string until you don't hear any rattle against the card. So you want to get the strings sounding clear. If you hear rattle, then it means you need to raise it a little bit more. Obviously what this is aiming to do is getting the action as low as you can without it causing any buzzing. So for me that method worked extremely well, and I've managed to get the action even better to how I had it before, and it's playing like a dream. Really, really pleased with how it's responded to all those adjustments. So yeah, there's the EART once more, and really enjoying exploring it more and learning about how to change things on it and adjust things to my taste. And I'm hoping to do a sound review of it for you guys soon as well, so you can hear some of the sounds it produces. And yeah, still absolutely loving it. I'm playing it every day. It's getting me to be inspired and play guitar, which at the end of the day is what we all want to be doing. So yes, very happy with the purchase, and I hope this video helps some of you out there as well. Thank you.